so you could speak this and attract in results way better. Hey, I'm Scott Haug, transformative mentor and healer who's helped myself and 2,500 other clients manifest in a ton of money, a lot of peace internally, and also attracting results a lot more predictably. So we're going to be talking about this. Before we do, and we're going to speak out loud, we need to understand resistance versus allowing and attracting in what you're wanting. So when we have an intention and desire that we're looking to get to, which is the star here, we are moving towards it. You're thinking about it, you're visualizing it, you're maybe doing your gratitude list or affirmations. But what happens is we start to, and this is supposed to be an eyeball, what happens is we start to look for evidence of it happening. So we start to say, did it happen? I just visualized it last night. Where is it? When's it going to come? All right, we start to overthink about it. And what this does is produce a feeling of absence. And since we have a feeling of absence, we always manifest according to our core embodied vibration that we're putting out around a topic. So since we feel absent, for example, if you want a certain amount of money as your intention, you feel it's not here. You feel lack of money, and it creates a detour off of the path you're wanting. And that detour feels very frustrating and disappointing because you know you're not seeing the results you think you can have the potential to receive. So you start doing your visualization again, you get a little bit closer, it's aiming a little bit down, but towards the intention. But then what happens again after a day, 2 days, or even sometimes an hour or 5 minutes after you visualize, it's like, where is it? So you feel the absence feeling again, or you feel like I'm panicking because I need the money. I'm worried, I'm doubtful, I don't know if I'm worthy enough. I doubt I even know how to do this process. I doubt that I even have the ability to manifest. So we have a lot of doubts going on, and that creates a ton of absence, which creates another detour, but we're not even getting close to our intention. And then another detour, and another detour. Before you know it, you're going away from your intention. And that's when people have been in the same income level for the last 10 years. That's when people have tons of money come in, tons of money go out. It feels like they never have access, cash, or abundance at the end of the month because they're constantly taking these detours, not getting as close as they'd like to their intended desire and goal. Now, the difference here is that this path is the one of resistance. This is the path of allowing. What happens when somebody is letting and allowing is they're heading towards, for example, maybe they also want the same intention, money. But what happens is they're heading towards their goal by visualizing, affirming, changing their identity, their self-concept, their self-image, all the modalities and tools you've heard of before. But they're focused on their energy connection to spirit, what we call faith, and a higher source of power, a higher self, a higher mind. And since they're focused on that being their mission, being their core purpose, being their core intention, they allow themselves to not have their mind, which is over here, block them out from their intention. And they solely focus on increasing their energy to match source, spirit, higher self, inner self, whatever you want to call that. And so there's no detours. They just keep getting closer and closer to their goal, and then they've got it. They've received it. And to other people, it looks like a miracle. It looks like this is crazy that you even received that kind of goal, that kind of money. I'm not saying this is overnight. This might have been taking that person 12 months. But maybe they 10x their income. They've quantum leaped multiple times over. So what's the difference here? How is this person allowing in the manifestation to find them? And why is this person, and what is this person doing to resist? Well, really important here is the core mantra for the resistor is, why isn't it happening? Why isn't it happening? Law of attraction doesn't work for me. I doubt I'm doing this right. I don't think this stuff works. Their core mantra is absence producing questions. And since they have these questions dominating their minds, they get to a very deep spot of neediness. It's kind of like in relationships, if you're really, really needy and really, really attached, what often happens to the other person? They get turned off. They kind of want to pull away in some spaces. Now, when you're deeply healed, you can stay in your core center. But we're talking about somebody that's not deeply healed. What tends to happen, right? What tends to move forward is that you kind of push it away. You push the other person away, right? Imagine calling somebody every day for 30 days straight, but they don't want you to call. They say, like, I'm busy, I got things going on, but they just keep calling and calling. And when you don't answer, they call you 35 times in a row. You'd be like, wait a second, what's going on here? Why are you needing to call me 35 times, right? Neediness. That's what you're doing to spirit when you are trying to manifest. You are literally that needy person calling spirit 35 times. Where is it? Are you doing the work? Is it going to show up? I don't know if I'm going to get this. And you're calling constantly for reassurance. I feel incomplete. I don't feel at home. I need this. I need this. Where is it? Give it to me now. It's kind of like childlike. I need it now. You're in a store and it's like, I got to have that toy, right? And what else this person does is they try and chronically figure it out. They think by manifesting it, they need to plan it out and actually figure out how all the synchronistic events are going to play out. So all day their mind is trying to figure it out. It's like a puzzle. It's like they're a detective trying to figure it out. Their mind craves it so much so because they're feeling a void inside themselves, and they feel like the money, the relationship, the dream home, the traveling around the world, living in different homes around the world is going to complete them. So since they have this delusional idea that it's going to complete them, the mind just keeps craving it like a drug almost. And they keep overthinking when, where, how, over and over and over. Now, to the person that is more of an allowing person, what tends to happen here is they trust that there's a higher mind taking care of everything for them. The higher mind is part of who you really are, but it's in the invisible dimension that you can't see. But you're so connected with that higher power, that higher mind, that you realize the higher mind is what does all of the work for me. I do have to take action. That's always the number one common question my clients ask, like, law of attraction, do I have to actually take action? Yeah, of course. You're living on the physical plane. Right now, while I move my marker, that's action, right? So if you're trying to win the lottery, you need to go buy the lottery ticket kind of idea, right? If you're building a business, you need to do your marketing and serve and help and build a product that's really amazing. So action's a part of it, but 99% of the synchronistic events that are going to come your way are only as a result of a higher mind. So you trust in a higher mind, and if you lack trust, that's where trauma healing comes into play, which we also do in our programs, because you need to heal that part of you that doesn't trust. Maybe you don't trust for good reason because of your childhood wounds or what you experienced in life. But that doesn't mean from here everyone is not trustworthy, including higher power. So we need to form a trust. We need to form a relationship with this higher power, okay? A positive relationship, that is. This person feels complete now. If the money comes into my life, if the relationship comes into my life, that soulmate, that specific person, that dream home, whatever it is, or it doesn't come into my life, the money doesn't come in, I don't get that achievement, I'm not as successful as I wished I would have been, I don't care. I'm already complete. I'm already at home inside my body. I'm already here. No big deal. It's fine if I don't actually have that thing in my life. I want it, but I don't need it. It's fine if it doesn't happen, okay? That kind of idea. The main mantra here is thank you. It's already given to me. Thank you. In a previous video, I'll put this in the description below, we just went through your visualization is actually creating tomorrow as a memory. The past and the future are actually a memory. And I go very deep into that in the video. You'll see that in the description below. You might want to consider checking that out after this, because we say thank you because it's already been done. At a higher dimensional level, the past and future are all existing right now. And simultaneously, you can be thankful for the memories you've had, and then the memories that are coming into your life. And they embrace the unfamiliar. They embrace unfamiliar, uncomfortable, uncertain things. Uncertainty does not have to mean unsafe. And that's where most of these people are. They feel very unsafe with new, with uncomfortable, with changing their life, with doing something different. Where this person finds certainty in the uncertainty. They find the certainty within themselves and the uncertain environment they're finding themselves in. Now, finally, and stick with me here because we're going to be going through our mantra that you want to speak out loud every day. It's going to change everything for you. And by the way, if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel here, join us in our soul tribe, And if you're looking for a step-by-step course, all the links are in the description below to get started in those. The resisting person is in an energy loop over and over and over. It just keeps going over and over and over, okay? What this is a void in the energetic realm. And the void is the unlearned lesson, karmically, that they are not learning, but they keep doing the same or similar behavior. So for example, somebody has money in, money out. What's going on is they have a karmic lesson of trying to hold abundance, but they can't. Their nervous system doesn't have the capacity. So what they need to work through is getting and exiting that void through changing their nervous system capacity and a bunch of other factors. I'm just giving examples. This person exits their void by learning the lesson and moves on. So they don't stay in the void. That's like the person that has had shaky relationships for a while, and then they've done so much extreme healing inside themselves where they don't jump from one relationship to the next. Instead, they learn the deepest lessons karmically and then say, okay, now I'm in this place where I can hold and maintain a relationship that's empowering. Or money-wise, I can actually have money come in and have half the money go out. So I'm holding access, abundance, and cash now in my life, right? There's a million different examples, but that's what's going on for the resistant and allowing. We have tons of videos on the channel for going through more of the energetics, okay? Here's what you're going to be saying out loud every day. And let's grab another marker here. My mind focuses on my primary mission, which is connection to spirit. Most people's primary mission is manifest. I need to manifest. I need to attract the results. I need to be successful. I need to feel significant in my life, right? But change your primary mission to connection with spirit. You could call this God, universe, higher spirit, higher power, infinite self, whatever your faith is, insert that. That's fine, okay? I like to call it spirit. So connection to spirit is your primary mission. Not to get things, not to be successful in quote unquote money terms or having those sports vehicles or something like that, right? Having the place where I'm connected to spirit's my number one mission. That's my number one mission in this life. Connect to spirit as deeply as possible. Everything else is a byproduct of that. And then finally from there, everything else I see are only meaningless observations. Meaningless. Everything that you see around you is meaningless. We create meaning for everything. I'm not saying your life is meaningless. That's not what we're saying at all. Life is very meaningful. Your life essence matters. But what we're saying is if I drop this marker on the ground, somebody would make it mean I'm too clumsy. I always mess up. I don't know why I drop things. And another person, this means, oh, I dropped it. I'm going to pick it up and move on with my day. You see, we are meaning or story creating machines. We need to create less stories and less meanings that are not there. They're false. This means nothing. Nothing. And I don't have to create meaning and story out of it. So when I don't see the income come in, I create these stories. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve money in my life. I am never significant enough to actually bring in money. Other people steal for it. I don't want to be like that, right? These crazy stories come up. They're all fiction, okay? So now I'm training my mind that everything that I am seeing in my world is meaningless. It's just an observation. I can observe I made a certain amount of money in my income level. It doesn't mean anything about me. It doesn't mean anything about who I really am. It doesn't mean anything about my abilities. It just is there. And then you can observe, well, that just means I need to get better at the skill of making money or making income come in or keeping money, right? Say this every day. I would encourage you to say out loud every day, 100 times a day until this is your new home. I'll see you over in the next video.